First off, thank you so much for liking my art enough. You actually want to try out one of these kits. I think it's pretty fun. I really enjoy building this kind of stuff. So this video is on how to put together the DIY kit. And this is for people who like projects, who are pretty handy, who like making things, stuff like that. Basically, all I'm gonna send you are these planks with artwork on one side, and then on the other side, it has these numbers that tell you how to assemble it. So it's gonna end up looking like this when it's done. So here are the planks, and basically you'll have to assemble these, and you'll end up with a nice piece of wood art like this. There's two versions of the kit that you can get. So the first one is just these planks, nothing else, and you have to get your own screws, your own wood glue, all that kind of stuff. The second one includes hardware. It's a little bit extra, like $25 extra, but it's gonna include everything you need except for power drill, unless you have a hand screwdriver and you're just like super strong and want to get a workout, and a piece of lumber to go along the back to hold everything together. So I would recommend a 1x6, and just the more surface area you have, the better the glue is gonna hold. When you're picking out the lumber from the hardware store, look down the edge of it and make sure it's not warped or twisted or anything like that. So if you got one of the 3-foot DIY kits, you'll want to get a piece of lumber that's 34 inches wide, and if you got one of the 5-foot kits, then you'll want to get a piece that's 58 inches wide. So you can cut it yourself, or most hardware stores like Lowe's and Home Depot have a place in the back where they can actually cut the lumber for you. I think the smallest 1x6 you can get is about 6 feet. So if you end up getting the kit with hardware, this is the stuff I'm going to give you. I'll give you about 40 of these 1 1/4 inch screws, and then a couple of these 1-inch screws, a T15 Torx pick for the screws, and then a couple D-rings to hang it up, some of these hooks, a little bottle of wood glue, and then some foam just to protect it while you're putting it together. Alright, so when you get the kit in the mail, each one of these planks is going to be numbered 1 through 13 or 14 or however big your painting is. And then it's going to have this thin line on the top. So what you want to do is lay them down on that piece of foam upside down so that the paint side is facing down on the foam. And then you basically just want to line up all the boards and make sure they're numbered sequentially from 1 to 13 or 14 or whatever. So lay down your piece of foam, get all your boards, lay them face down, and then line them up and make sure they're numbered correctly. Line up the edge of that board onto the line that goes across all of the planks. Once it's straight, throw on a bunch of wood glue and then glue it down. So I just put the glue down, and now you're going to want to tack it on both edges with the screw, just to make sure that this backing doesn't move around when you're working. So for this, you want to use your 1 1/4 inch screws. They're going to go through this backing and then embed themselves halfway into these boards that the art's painted on. Alright, so now go ahead and use the rest of your 1 1/4 inch screws to screw the rest of the planks into this backing. I gave you enough screws to put 2 in each one of these small boards and then 3 in the larger boards. Okay, so last thing, use your 1-inch screws to attach your D-rings to the back of the board. So really you can put them anywhere. The further apart the better. I usually put them about a foot away from the edge right here. That's a foot. And then I only gave you 2 screws for both of these rings. You don't have to put screws into both of these holes. I recommend only putting a screw in the bottom hole because you don't want to screw too close to the edge and then split your board. Sweet, now flip it over and hopefully everything's straight. How's it look? So if there's any wood glue that's seeping out of the seams, just get a wet rag and go ahead and wipe it off before it dries. Again, thanks so much. I hope you like it.